In our quest to understand hydraulic fracturing, we first look at a map of the United States. Here we can see there are deposits of natural gas-bearing shale all over the United States, with the largest on this map being the Marcellus Shale region. Let's take a dive into the Marcellus region to get a closer look at the fracking process in action. Here we can see a rough diagram that breaks down the general processes involved with hydraulic fracturing. First, trucks bring equipment to drill the borehole down into the ground. This borehole goes down and through the water table. Now, fracking puts in special safeguards such as concrete and steel casing so as to prevent any leaching of hydrocarbons and fracking water from leaking into the water table. A vertical shaft, after reaching almost 2 miles below the water table, turns into a horizontal shaft where small openings in the casing provide water, sand, and chemicals at high pressure to fracture the shale, creating fissures. Here we can see that natural gas will flow from the fissures and go up through the well. So at this point, you're probably wondering a very important question. What are we arguing about? And that's a great question, folks. But unfortunately, the arguments don't boil down to just big oil and its money and the crazy environmentalists. One does not simply frack. So come along with us on an adventure as we explore fracking.
Although it is hard to dispute that hydraulic fracturing has important economic benefits, many will argue that the financial gains caused by fracking far from outweigh the potential harm to the environment that could arise. As a relatively new process, the dangers of fracking haven't completely been determined, and its ecological impacts haven't been properly analyzed. The amount of water, up to 140 billion gallons in 2010, used in fracking is definitely not good for the environment. The chemicals used in fracking fluid are dangerous and volatile. Although less than 2% of the fluid is composed of chemicals, many of these are known to be toxic to humans and wildlife, and some even cause cancer. The most controversial aspect of fracking is the effect it could have on the water supply of homeowners near fracturing wells. Although fracking companies insist that their drilling is more than far enough below groundwater wells, it has been reported that methane concentrations are up to 17 times higher in drinking water wells near fracturing sites. The 2010 documentary Gasland by Josh Fox cites dozens of cases of people experiencing severe water contamination immediately after fracking was implemented in a nearby area. Horror stories of lighting people's sink water on fire and homeowners being in constant fear of an underground gas explosion are not uncommon throughout these regions. The difficulty of environmentalists in attaining undisputable proof that fracking directly causes water contamination has allowed fracking companies to continue their extraction of natural gas with little political opposition. Many question if this innocent until proven guilty philosophy is worth the risk of disease, and even human life. With more than 1,000 documented cases of water contamination next to areas of gas drilling, and incidents of sensory, respiratory, and neurological damage, would you want to take that risk for a slightly cheaper energy bill every month?